Hello and welcome to CTA Quickbites episode 20. And my name is Vinay Sharma and I'm the host for this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, CTA Quickbites, as you know, has a mission of bringing in luminaries from the world of aviation, hospitality, hospitals, corporate, high-end retail. And, we ask them to share their nuggets of wisdom uh, and we support our students and those aspiring to join this industry, enrich their knowledge about this industry from the experiences our guests share on CTA Quick Bites. And carrying that forward, we have a wonderful guest today. He has been with the aviation industry for the last 16 years. Started his career as a cabin crew 16 years back with Jet Airways. Uh, then after 14 years of having worked with Jet, moved to Go Air. Then he's been with Go First for the last 2 years, and is currently working as the cabin manager for their airline. He is an avid cricket lover and has played cricket at a very high level. He represented his state at the national level. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Rahul Singh.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Vinay sir, for having me on the show. I'm really,
Oh, no,
really, really glad and happy to be here.
the pleasure is all ours, Rahul. The pleasure is all ours to have you. You've taken out time to be here, and I'm looking forward to the next 30 minutes because I myself want to know so
Oh,
much, Rahul.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm all yours, sir.
Thank you, Rahul. So, my first question always, Rahul, is for people who are into flying. We have a very tumultuous 1.5 years. So how is flying now? How has it been, considering that we've seen so many of lows and ups in the last 1.5 years? How is it now?
Uh, I would say, yeah, there is a tremendous difference what we used to and what we are doing now. Initial days were golden days, what we had, n number of destinations, lovely flying, lovely set of people with us. But now, yes, the flying part has gone down. Pandemic has hit us so bad. Hospitality, especially aviation industry, has been hit so bad. People are scared of flying. But yes, by coming days, things gonna cope up very soon. People are getting vaccinated. They are smart enough. They know it very well that yes, vaccination is the only thing which is gonna help them. And people are doing that and coming back to flying. So I would say slowly we are back on track. Maybe by end of this year we should be flying high as always we did. So never leave a hope, I would say. Be prepared, we will be in the sky very soon.
Right.
That's what I would say.
No, it's good to know that we are inching towards pre-COVID days of
Right.
flying, and I am very hopeful, Rahul, with 2021, with most of the people getting vaccinated during this year. I think 2022 is going to be a year we are looking forward to, when we can actually
Right,
come back.
right, hoping for the right.
Yes, correct, Rahul, correct. So Rahul, how did you first think of joining the aviation industry? Because you were a budding cricketer. How did you think of coming to
Right.
this? Yeah.
Aviation was not actually my cup of tea. I never thought of aviation on the first stage, but yes, I
Mhm.
was been challenged in the past. Basically,
Mhm.
there were a few of my friends who were into aviation, I would say especially girls, and I saw them and I asked them about it. So they just informed, no, this is not for guys. This is not a boy's job, basically. So I was like, why? I went through a few pages of Air India. I went through a few pages of other airline, and then I thought, no, this is a thing which I really want to do. And
Mhm.
I just prepared myself, came for the interview, and by luck, I would say it was my first shot, and I got into Jet Airways, one of the
Mhm.
best. So after joining Jet, it was never looking back. It was never looking back, and I never regret my decision because this was one of the best decision of my life that I did. In fact, Jet helped me to, I would say, my cricket career. I would say it was not stopped after coming to Jet. They helped me grow into that. But yeah, it was my bad luck. I had a bad accident, and after that, I had to stop cricket, or else we had a team which was with Jet. In fact, we had a lot of matches within our industry, like Jet Airways team, Indigo team, Spice Jet team. So I would never say that your career stops if you have soaring. Like I was a cricketer, so it never stopped when I joined Jet. I had got a lot of opportunity, so
Right.
I didn't say that I stopped myself. Yeah, the problem was just an accident which made me stop my passion. But or else
Right.
things were like good. So basically, it was a challenge to me to get into aviation, and I never regret
Right.
that.
Right. But I'll disagree with one thing you said, Rahul. You said, you got in by luck. I would slightly disagree because I'm sure you worked very hard, for the interview. So
I
that
did,
brings
I did. I would
that
never.
brings that brings me to my next question, Rahul. Because traditionally, if we see this industry, uh, when I grew up, for example, I never knew this term cabin crew. We were always told air hostess, and we had this thing
Right.
that it is only for girls.
Still, still,
But
still, still, we have the
it still
same
is.
thing.
I think the majority, if you see, is of course we see more girls there. So for gentlemen, I think Rahul, it is a very small bracket that you are competing for. How difficult was it to get through with that interview, your first interview? Was it difficult?
When I said I'm so sorry, your voice is breaking up. I'm not
So
able to
my
hear
voice.
you properly.
Okay. No, my question,
So
Rahul, is
sorry.
that my question. Can you hear me now, Rahul?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. No, my question, Rahul, is because traditionally, it is believed, and a lot of people think, that cabin crew means, it is for ladies and girls only. And we do see, that even the hiring ratios, there are more girls rather than boys. So do you think it gets a little more difficult for men to fit into this industry or get into this industry, especially cabin crew in aviation?
I would say if you have the quality, if you have the standard, if you have that passion in you, nobody can stop you. It's not about guys and girls. Like there are, I would say there's only one airline in India which is just female oriented, or else all the other airlines what we have,
Right.
they are hiring guys too.
Right.
So I wouldn't deny the fact, yeah, the ratio what we talk about, yes, it is around 60-40, 80-20, because people think it's just a female oriented job, but no, it's nothing like that, because in this job it just don't serve guests, you just don't have to smile. There are a lot of things which has to be
Correct.
done. It's like safety of
Correct.
the passengers.
Correct.
Anything, any ditching, any crash landing, anything happens, is just not about the thing like only girls can handle or
Mhm.
guys can handle. It's about hand to hand, hand in hand.
Mhm.
It's the
Mhm.
support. So telling that is just a female oriented, no, not at all. I wouldn't believe the fact, because I
Right.
have been flying for good 16 years. I have met
60.
many of the male crew,
Mhm.
and one of the best, I would say the best crews I have been flying with.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
not I really don't go with the fact that it's a female oriented. It's nothing like that.
Right.
Because just one
Right.
airline is doing that, it doesn't mean that no, you don't have opportunity. You have an n number of opportunities. You
Right.
need to try. You need to groom yourself that way.
Right. Right.
Opportunities are there.
Uh, okay, Rahul, if we talk about the ratios, 60, 40, 70, 30, 80, 20, even I read about that. That this is how it
Right.
is. It is. Uh, so does it get difficult? I mean, of course, men can become cabin crew, and they should think about this profession seriously as well. But do you think at the interview time it gets slightly difficult because you're a slightly on a disadvantage because out of the 10 people they would be selecting, six are like girls. Say for example, if it is 60-40, now you are having to compete for that 40% slot. Does it
Right,
get
right, right.
slightly
That
difficult?
way, yeah, it's slightly difficult. Slightly difficult only for people who are not prepared.
Prepared.
I wouldn't say that
Yes.
I wouldn't say everybody is prepared. I wouldn't say that everybody is prepared, but you have to be your best. To get the
Hmm.
best, you have to be the best. So that is
Right.
the scenario. You have to
Right.
prepare yourself properly. That you should have the desire that I need that job. by any
Correct.
means. I
Correct.
have to prepare myself that way. I have to look good. I have to speak good. I have to look smart. I have to groom myself in the best way so that nobody could deny. If I go
Right.
for an interview, nobody should. A wow feeling should come from when the moment I enter the room. The people, the interviews, they should have that wow feeling. If you have that in you, if you have that desire in you, they are bound to select you. So you have to be the best to get the best. It's very
Right.
simple funda.
Right.
Give you
Right.
100%, for sure you're gonna get the job.
Right.
Why to be in the crowd? Stand tall.
Ah, exactly. So there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut, and you have to give your best.
No,
You have to keep
right?
giving your best. Rahul, do you
Absolutely,
remember your first
absolutely.
interview? Do you remember your first
I
interview? Do you remember
I
questions?
very much, very
Why?
much remember my first interview. You know why? When I saw, you know why? Because
Why?
my wife was there in the selection committee. That was I remember my interview. That
Okay.
was the funniest part. That she
How
was
many
there. The
people
moment, the
did?
first
How many?
person, the first
All right.
person I met, I entered. The first person I met was my wife,
Tell
and I
us
could
more
see
about it.
she is there in the committee. But yeah,
Okay.
it was like I was scared. I was actually scared. I was a bit worried what's gonna happen in this interview, what they're gonna ask, and all that. But yes,
Mhm.
things just I was made so comfortable the moment I entered the room. I was made so comfortable. People were so good. I wouldn't say any grumpy faces. No grumpy faces, nothing. In fact, the bosses who were seated over there, they were so good. I was very comfortable. The moment I entered my first round, for my first round, it was a group discussion basically. The first round was a GD round, and things were so simplified. Everybody had a chance to speak. I spoke my part, and things went good. The next was grooming, and I knew that I am properly groomed, and nobody could deny the fact. And yes, the second round was just a piece of cake, and the second round was taken by my wife, so I was lucky enough that I got through. Yeah, and then we just had few more rounds, and they were not that tough. Yeah, it just your general knowledge, just your general knowledge, what is happening around you, all these things you need to prepare. You need to look confident. Maybe you are very much
Right.
scared inside, but it shouldn't have shown up on your face. It shouldn't show on your face. That's the
Right.
thing they are looking.
Right.
Still, they are looking. That's the thing. That is the thing they look for. You shouldn't. You be nervous from inside, but nothing should be showing on your face. That what happens. That's why they tell us once we joined a airline. That will tell whatever worries you have, whatever tensions you have, whatever has happened in your family. Once you're in uniform, you're in uniform. You are representing a company. So have that smile on your face. Service with a smile, basically. Service
Right.
gracefully. That should happen, and that should be
Right.
our motto.
Rahul, you mentioned a
So
very
this
important
was
point, which right, yeah. So I think you mentioned something which I want youngsters to take note of. When you talked about a little bit of a GK and current affairs. I see a
it
lot
is
of
important.
budding professionals. But they are likely really cut off with what's happening around them, and some of them
That's
have no
wrong. That
clue.
shouldn't.
That
Correct.
an important event just happened yesterday. So they are like staying away from news and everything, and not really catching up with what's happening. So youngsters, please note that just like we talk about total quality delivery in service, okay, you have to be a total profile, when you're going for an interview, because they would be only
Correct.
selecting the best, right? So yeah, Rahul, thank you so much for touching on that point. Uh, something that I want to also understand, Rahul, is we speak about business models of airlines, and that's the reason they employ only females, or a mixed crew. What do you think is the reason? Some airlines have a mixed crew and some have females only. Why is it that?
That's a very touchy question.
Okay.
That's a very touchy
Would,
question. I would say what I
would,
believe.
yeah, your opinion.
What what I believe. These kind of airlines, whatever that it is, they are completely into business. What they feel if we have only female oriented airline, it would be an attraction for public. It would be an attraction for public because uh, they think that, yeah, all female airlines, this is going to attract a good number of passengers. They will come because people, you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. Uh, this what is because I really don't want to get into the details, but yeah, this what
And
happens these days. This what
Mhm.
happens. Attraction, basically the attraction part.
Yeah.
It's just the attraction, but like we had our there were a few airlines which they only had female staff, maybe only one male staff, and all that. It was all attraction. It's a business for basically tactics for pulling
Mhm.
passengers because more the passengers, more the revenue, more the revenue you survive. And this is just that tactics, nothing else. Or else training, I would say the training standard, everything, safety, service, first aid, whatever it is, it remains the same for everybody. It's
Right.
either a guy or a girl. It's a male or
Right, of
female,
course.
no difference. You are been
Of
trained that way.
course.
No
Of
disrespect to
course.
any airline. You are trained
Correct.
that way to handle the emergency. You are a whole girl airline, whole guy airline, doesn't make a difference. You have been trained
Doesn't
in the
matter.
same manner. If any emergency
Yes.
happens, you will do the same thing what everybody does. So
Right.
no disrespect in safety standards or something like that. But yeah, it's basically a business tactics, nothing else.
Yeah. So
What
their
that
own
what
business.
I feel. That is my
Correct.
personal.
Correct. 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 All right, Rahul. For men who are aspiring to become a cabin crew, right? What kind of preparations would you ask them to make uh, so that they can make it into this industry? Anything that they need to work on
Yes,
specifically as
yes,
men?
yes. First and foremost thing, they should be physically fit. Physically fit means I'm not telling you have to be Arnold. You don't have to be a
Sorry.
bodybuilder or something. Physically fit means it should look good. Your body should take that. I would say 8 to 10 hours shift wala thing. You should be that strong enough to handle that. You should be mentally strong because
Mhm.
there were a lot of things in training which has come up in a short interval. You have to learn a lot of things. You have to understand a lot of things. Grooming is the most important factor. Grooming is the most important factor. You need to take care of your skin. Don't get into any unwanted habits like alcoholism, smoking, and all that. Spoils your health, spoils your face, because this job is all about looks initially. Because you look good, you can enter here. Your verbal communication, very important,
Very
very,
important.
very, very important. Because English is a link language, and I would say
Mhm.
everybody should know English because
Mhm.
you don't know you're dealing with whom, because it's just not
Mhm.
Indian guests. We fly international guests too. They don't understand Hindi. We need to talk in English. So your verbal communication is a very strong factor. Your grooming, your health, general knowledge, what I said earlier, your GK, these things should be taken care of. Uh, Most probably should be mentally prepared. I would again say it's not a female oriented career only.
Correct.
Male
Correct.
can survive and they easily survive. So
Correct.
prepare yourself that way. This is not a rocket science. It's a
Right.
simple way, a simple lifestyle. Maintain your lifestyle, disciplined lifestyle you are in. I would say bang on. Nobody can
Right.
stop you.
Raj, throw some light on the grooming standards men have to really follow, because we keep talking about female grooming standards, how they need to be always well groomed. But I'm sure, of course, but we've not really spoken about it ever. But if you could shed some light on the grooming standards men have to follow in this industry.
I would start with your hair. Your hair should be, you should take care of your, everybody wants to look good, but it's a basic thing. Everybody wants to look good. Yeah, there are people
Correct.
who prefer beard and all that, but yeah, that doesn't look professional in this sector. Take care of your skin, drink plenty of water, keep your stomach happy, which shows on your face.
Hmm.
I would say smoking, drinking, all these nasty habits, don't get into all this in early age. This is gonna
Hmm.
spoil the skin. This is gonna spoil your body. And if your body gets spoiled, it shows on your face.
Mhm.
Exercise, exercise
Yes.
daily. That is
Yes.
more important. Let your
Yes.
skin breathe,
Right.
not smokes and all that. Yeah, fresh
Right.
air and all that. Yeah, let your skin breathe. Look good,
Right.
because there are a lot of people who think being fair is like perfect. No, come on.
No, no.
Just being fair
Right.
doesn't make you healthy, doesn't make you look good.
Mhm.
Any skin structure, any skin color looks better if your skin is healthy. There is
Right.
no, I would say, difference in the selection procedure if you are a fair guy or if you're a dark guy or you're a whitish guy. No, you present yourself well, you will be selected for sure. Whatever skin type you have doesn't make a difference at all. Nobody
Correct.
bothers about this skin color.
Correct.
It's just how you keep
Correct.
yourself healthy. That's what matters. It's
Right.
the same thing for girls. It's just extra work for girls. They know they have to do makeup and all that. For guys, nothing. Just shave,
Yes.
keep yourself clean.
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else. Basically, basic hygiene which we follow at our house. The same thing has to be followed, but
Yeah.
in a proper manner, in a
Oh,
disciplined way. That's it. Nothing else. It's not at all a rocket science.
right. Absolutely. And youngsters listening to Rahul, when you are in your uniform, and you are your brand. You are probably not your
Right.
individual self only. You are carrying a big brand over your shoulders, and I think that is where the seriousness needs to come in. Rahul, and even for my viewers, uh, you were involved in an incident where you saved a life on board. It was a London
See
flight,
the
and
smile. See the smile. See the smile on my face.
yes,
I get so happy thinking of that always. I get goosebumps.
Rahul, tell us about it, and also tell us about the felicitation that followed. Please tell us about it completely, please.
Where is that? This was a flight. I was off to London. This was Bombay London flight with Jet Airways.
Mhm.
One of my like favorite airline, I would say. Yeah,
Yes.
we were off to London, and on ground, the flight started in a bad note. Basically, on ground, we had a medical emergency first. It was handled. It was handled. It was just a simple. A lady got unconscious because she haven't slept the whole night and she was tired, and suddenly she fell on the ground. So things were handled after takeoff. After takeoff, services were done. We were halfway to London. It was all good 6 hours. Another 3 hours were left, and I was in the first class talking to a few of my colleagues because it was a lull period. Basically, if services were done, so we were just chit chatting, and we get rest periods. We get rest time in this lull period, like 40-45 minutes of rest, so that we can go to our bunk, take a quick nap, and then
Mhm.
we can come back. So I was
Mhm.
just about to go for my rest period, and I moved from first class to business class with one of my colleague, and there was a passenger. He was in a half-seated position, just lying with eyes closed. I thought I saw him, and it was just a normal view for on a daily basis because he had passengers sleeping and taking rest, whatever it was. I just crossed him. I just crossed him, and suddenly something came into my mind. Something struck me, and I felt no, there is something wrong with this guy. There is something wrong with this guy, and I just turned back. I turned back, and I had a pat on him. Sir, are you okay? No response. I went for his pulse. No pulse. I went for his breathing. No breathing. I was like, oh God, he's dead. My colleague was just right behind. I told him call for help. He went paged for doctor. I caught this guy, picked him, just dropped him on the floor, and immediately started with the CPR.
See,
CPR, yeah, that people must have seen in the TV. Doctors giving the chest compressions. That's
right.
CPR basically. I started with the CPR. I was lucky enough. My crew were pretty fast in doing their duties. They found a doctor. Doctor was around, and we started our job. Kept continuing with CPR for a while. It was good 15-20 minutes, and no response, no response, no response. And doctor was like, Rahul, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying it. So it was on and on. I was tired. I was drained out. One of my colleague came. He started helping me, and things were taken care. Now he was drained out again because CPR is not just a joke. It takes a lot of body power, a lot of body power. Then again,
Wow.
I took over, and we went on doing CPR for good 45 minutes. Basically, in an airline standard, if you cross 30 minutes, we presume that person is dead. That person is dead. Basically, nothing can help him. But I thought, no, not on my flight. This is not happening on my flight. Nobody's dying on my flight. That was in my mind, and I kept giving CPR. Good 45 minutes, and the last hit, and the passenger reaction was the breath came back, the pulse came back, and I was like, thank God. Then all the protocols were followed because it was an international flight. So we got diverted to Romania, Bucharest. We landed there. Then the medical team arrived. They treated him on board for good 2 hours. And after that, he was taken out of the aircraft. Then we got a permission after 6 hours to take off from Bucharest to Romania because at that state, nobody has ever seen 777. There was no engineer to give us a clearance to get back to sky. So, but yeah,
Oh,
luckily we had Mr. Suhail Seth with us. He's a well-known personality. He used his
okay,
sources,
yes.
called up the aviation minister, got the clearance. There was an engineer flown from some other place, and he came. He gave us the clearance, and then we flew back to London, and we were God on board, basically. The
Wow.
treatment what we got, people. I have got a lot of like ads on that. It was on Twitter. It was just everywhere, basically, that there was a life saved on board or with Jet Airways crew and all that. I was like overwhelmed. This was amazing.
Wow.
This was an amazing experience. Too
Wow.
good.
Wow.
And that what airline does. That what airline that
Absolutely.
the training what they give you. They make
Yeah.
make you a half doctor basically.
Yes. 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 And for all those who, if watching and believe that, a cabin crew's role is only serving drinks and beverages and food, this is what a cabin crew does. Rahul, wonderful, wonderful story to hear, and
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
lovely, yeah, lovely, And I'm sure, this will remain with you throughout your life,
It
because,
will. I'm sure.
absolutely, Rahul. Wow, yeah, glad I asked you that question because so
Yes,
much
please.
to know from them. Another thing, Rahul, which I really feel like asking is that, we know it's a very demanding profession, and you know, you need to be away from your family for many days at times. Does it ever come across your mind that enough of flying, and I need to probably hang my boots now, or have you learned a way of balancing it? Because as I asked you, because you're a father and a husband, how do you balance it?
You know what? It does. There are times. There are times when you start missing your family a lot. Like when my kid was born. When my kid was born, and I was in
Mhm.
Mumbai that time, and my wife
Right.
was here in Kolkata. So it was actually a tough time for me. Like I'm flying and I'm not able to see my newborn baby, and it was hampering me a bit. But end of the day, what was running behind my mind? Yes, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for them. I am the more I fly, the more I earn. The more I earn, the more I'll be able to take care of my family. So that what kept me running. That what kept me flying. And every
Right.
intervals like international flights and you get a good rest after that, so it's your choice because company gives you free tickets and all that, so you can easily come back to the destination where you want to. You can meet your wife, meet your kids, spend time with them, then come back again. So company
Mhm.
gives you that facility. That is the best part of the airline what I have felt. Free tickets, that is the best thing. Like
Mhm.
wherever you want to fly, just free. Come on. A normal human being would think 10 times. For us, it was not as yes, come on, man, bus, yeah, we want to fly somewhere or the other. It's your off day. Book a ticket and just go. Just go. I would say paid holidays. Hotels which we
Yes.
used to stay, the best of the best hotels. It's a paid holiday. For me, if
Right.
I have to book it personally on my expense, I wouldn't think much. I would say no, boss. Let's plan it next year. Let's plan it next year. But yeah,
Correct.
being into
Correct.
a airline, yes, it's a paid holiday for you. 9 hours of job, and uske baad you have got 24, 36 hours on international destination shopping, enjoying your life. Too good,
Mhm.
too good.
Right.
It's amazing. But yeah,
Right.
balancing, it was a bit tough. I wouldn't deny the fact, but you have to make up your mind. You have to make up your mind because rather than doing rather than just thinking, no, I want to be with my family and all that. That's not gonna help in the future. If you want to
Yeah,
secure your life, you have to work. So you have to adjust yourself that way. Make up your mind.
right,
Simple.
right, right. And you have to adapt to the requirements of your job. I think that is
It
how it
is. It
is.
is. It is.
That is how
It
it
is.
is.
You have to, or else
Rahul,
survival will be a question. So we
absolutely,
shouldn't get
absolutely,
into that.
absolutely, Rahul. Rahul, what's the way ahead? I mean, for because we've discussed many times on this show about female crew. What's the way ahead for them? But as a first guest as a male cabin crew, and I can't help but ask you the question: what's the way ahead for men who have been cabin crew, and then one defined day they decide, like, all right, I need to move on. What options are there for people who have been cabin crew and now look for some other options? What options are there, you think?
There are n number of opportunities. There are n number of opportunities. People think, after being a cabin crew, you cannot do anything else. No, nothing, not at
Hmm,
all like that. Not at all.
hmm,
There are a
hmm.
lot of options at your own base. You can always try being a cabin crew. Like the most, I would say, cabin manager is the last position for flying. But
Right.
beyond that, you have assistant base in charge, assistant base managers. You come to a ground and you have a lot of opportunities. You can be a airport manager. You can be a duty manager. There are a lot of.
More
You can
options.
open up your own aviation schools. There are a
Yes.
lot of things you can do.
Yes.
Exactly. There are a lot of
A lot
things
of
you
people
can
do that.
do.
Yes.
It
Yes.
doesn't clip your wings. If you want to stop flying and you feel that your wings are clipped, no, not at all. Not at all.
Right.
The
Right.
moment you stop flying, there are a lot of opportunities coming up. You have to
Right.
grab it.
Right.
You have to grab it. There are a lot of opportunities in market. You have to
Right.
grab it. You can join hotels in the best of the best position. So
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say it's an end. I wouldn't say
No,
it's
no.
an end to your career. No, not at
Right.
all. Not at all.
Right. 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 Well, Rahul, it was absolutely amazing talking to you, and and knowing so much
Likewise,
from
sir.
you. And I just can't thank you enough for having come here and sharing
You
your
don't
knowledge of
have
the.
to. You don't have to at all.
Let me do that, Rahul. Let me do that because I think you have been very kind to kind of accept this and come. And we wish you all the best, Rahul, for your
Thank you
future.
so
And
much.
I hope you reach higher heights. And from all of us at CTA, we wish you all the best. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Vinay, sir, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
ladies and gentlemen, we end the show here today, and we will see you with another guest on Wednesday. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you on Wednesday with our next guest. Thank you so much, and please take care of yourselves. Bye.